area countries, different countries, because they feel that they have better pool of talent, and they feel that, theek hai, online ho gaya hai, so let them work from there. So this is also what is changing. So if a scenario is changing, we have to be prepared to get into it, slide into a changed situation, be adaptable. I give kudos to the teachers. We talk about the doctors at all times, but the COVID situation, overnight, the teachers became warriors where education was concerned. Imagine if they did not have the ability to change and to adapt to this changing situation. Imagine what would have happened to the entire generation of students who are suffering in this COVID situation. So that adaptability has to be built up. So these are the reasons that you need to start preparing early. 20 years ago, there were very few careers: doctor, engineer, lawyer, or government service. That was it. Whereas now, we have more than 180 plus career clusters. There are many career options. There's a huge supply. There's a less demand. So when there is supply and demand gap, I'm sure, eventually you're going to study about this. So what you need is the right kind of skills. We have engineers who are working as bankers. So, that flexibility has to be there. So why is counseling required? To put everything in the right perspective. There are too many careers to choose from. While it's a very good thing, it's also the biggest problem for students and parents now. What is the best course for me and my child? What subjects should I choose? With the new education policy, subjects, streams, everything is going to, I think there's going to be a blur. It's no longer going to be humanities. It's called social sciences. You have pure sciences, but you will be able to take subjects from different streams as well, so that you learn various aspects of different subjects. Another question: should my child study in India or should he go abroad? Suddenly, if you wake up in class 12 and say, I want to go abroad and study, it's very difficult. The preparation of that has to start from an earlier stage. So this is also another reason. What are the scholarships that are available? There are lots of scholarships that are available, but we have to work towards those scholarships. So everything is a journey that you have to take. So this is the kind of confusion that there is. And yes, this is another thing. I'm sure a lot of your parents would be complaining that your child is not that you're not serious, you don't manage your time, and all of those things. So this is where counseling comes in. Now, I won't delve very much into this, but when we do career planning, we from 8 to 10, we try to understand what your interest areas are, understand what your passion is. When you understand where your passion lies, it's very, very important that you nurture your passion. Then again, up to grade 10, we think about your interest areas, we think about your country choices, what are the streams that you take. Going forward in grade 11 and 12, we talk about different aspects, which is more focused on your course, your college, your entrance exams, and all of that. Now, when you are not associated with a counseling company, or you do not have a counselor, then what happens? You kind of lack a bit of a proper research, because what do? We typically we go and search for jobs or for anything on Google. Now, not to forget that Google gives you the most searched answer. So by the time you actually reach the kind of answer that you are looking for, you would have to make multiple searches. So this is where research comes in, and this is where it's important that you do your research through a good platform, through someone who is known. Now, I got a student who has unfortunately not who got 40% in his mathematics in grade 10. He unfortunately didn't pass his grade 11. He managed to escape through grade 12, and he wants to do bachelor's in computer application. While that is possible, it is possible because, even if you do not have math, you can still do bachelor of computer application. But the fact remains, will that student really be able to do justice to that course? Because he will have to do math when he is in the course. So again, if you do not have that right kind of research, right kind of direction, you will land up in the wrong kind of course, thinking, okay, this doesn't need math and it makes me a computer professional. Wrong way. Then many a times parents and students, they have different expectations from each other. Parents want child to do something else, and the child wants to do something else. So important that we start the discussion early, so that by the time it's time for you to mine out courses, you've had enough conversation with your parents, or your parents have had enough conversation with you. You've done your research, and then you have taken an informed decision. So clearly, a defined decision is what is important and what really comes out of counseling. This is also another reason we have data to show that children who are in grade 9 change, 63% of them change their careers and courses. 10th, from course and subject, 41% of them have changed. 11th class to college application, 20% of them have changed. So this change keeps happening because there is a lack of clarity as to what they are heading towards. You have a direction in front of you, you have a map in front of you, or a GPS, and it will take you. But if you have a direction and you're not going to ask anybody, you don't have a map, can you imagine how you're going to end up and where you're going to end up? So what should be the structure and the way that students should approach career counseling? And what we encourage as counselors is, the first and foremost step is to understand yourself. Self-awareness is the key to understanding what your career trajectory is going to be, what your career is going to be.
Shikha, sorry to interrupt.
Yes, ma'am.
Voice is getting low.
Okay.
So,
all right. Is it okay now, ma'am?
Interesting thing you are sharing, but if the voice goes, then
yes, absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so I think I'll need to just chew my mic. So yes, so self-awareness is very important. What is my personality? Am I an extrovert person? Am I an introvert person? Am I a data-driven person? Do I like to tinker with machines? Unless and until you have this understanding of your personality, you will end up again in a wrong domain. Just, I'll cite an example. An engineer came to me. She's a software engineer, and she has been doing programming. But when we did an analysis of her, she was an extrovert. She wanted independent career. She was, very adventurous. Her learning style was visual, audio. So she was in the wrong domain of programming. She said, ma'am, I'm doing very well, but I'm not enjoying it. So that term enjoying it, ultimately we want our students, we want everyone to enjoy what they're doing. And that enjoyment is taken away when there is a personality and interest mismatch. So understand yourself. And there are psychometric tests that we as counselors suggest students to take, so that we get an idea of what the diagnosis is like. Like, you go to a doctor, a simple example, you go to a doctor will tell you, will listen to your symptoms, and will say, okay, I would suggest you go and do these blood tests, and then come with the report to me, and I will give you the medication. Similarly, this is what counseling does. This is what psychometric testing does. We understand your personality, career interest, learning style, your career motivators. Very important. What will motivate you? When we understand this, then we kind of give you a whole bunch of careers to choose from. So once we have given you a career clusters to choose from, what is your work? You need to explore. You need to research from those career options. Okay, so what are these options? What is the career that resonates the most with me? I've recently had a student who's doing her BCom honors, but now she's going into apparel management because she loves fashion, she loves clothes, she loves design. She couldn't get into fashion design for the simple reason she didn't think about it at that point in time. So if you, but the thing is, right now I have told her that she has to do an internship, she has to take some certification, she has to understand and explore the career domain that she wants to take. Similarly, there are various exploratory tools that you can take. There are virtual internship programs which you can choose to do in 20, 2 hours, which will give you a clarity of what the domain of work is all about. Once you do that, then you identify, okay, this is the one which really attracts me. This is as per my personality, my skill sets, and this is the job I want to go ahead and do. And then how do I do it? How do I get there? What are my college options? What are my country options? Now, also another thing, we have, there are lots of places in Europe like Germany, Italy, Paris, or rather France. You have free education. You get scholarships. So if you start with the focus that you want to study in these countries, start learning some foreign languages. Learn your German. You have time, and eventually you can perhaps go and study in Germany for free. And that's all valuable education, excellent education you get in these countries. But again, and class 12, you can't suddenly say, I want to go to Germany and study because you don't know the language. So yes, this is what we do through the psychometric testing. We understand your skill sets. We explore the career clusters. We find the most suitable career path for you. And then we give you a comprehensive report as to how you should go about it. When I talk about career exploration, these are certain things which you need to do. Virtual internship programs I have talked about. I have some 18 virtual internship programs that you can choose from. There's computer engineer, mechanical engineering, there is management in marketing. So there are 18 of them. You can choose, one can do them, for that matter, even CA. We have virtual internship programs for understanding what chartered accountancy is all about. Or so once you experience it, it'll help you. Speak to professionals. If you decide on 2 or 3 career clusters or career options, talk to your nearest people who are in that particular work. Talk to the uncle who is perhaps working in a computer company. Talk to an uncle who's working in an architecture company. Talk to another auntie, who's working in a bank, to understand it. And speak to professionals. They will give you a very clear idea. Watch webinars.
Just everyone to switch off their mic, please. I request Parul, please, if you can make Shruti Gaba the co-host so that she can control all this, please. Thank you. Ma'am, you may continue.
Yeah. Watch your webinars. Nowadays, the positive of COVID is that every in university is doing webinars. They are all on YouTube. You want to understand about a particular career, go on, search, watch them, see what they have to say, see what kind of students they need. Listen to videos which say as to what kind of job prospects that particular domain has. So very important to do these 2-3 things which will help you get more confidence about the choice that you are making. Also, another very important thing is that, colleges no longer look at your mark sheet. That is becoming more of an elimination point, because as I shared with you the data earlier, everyone is getting above 90%. In Delhi University, you have 70,000 seats and there are 250,000 applicants. So if you cannot get into Delhi University, what are your other options? If it is a private college, whether it is Symbiosis or Narsi Munji or NIFT or anywhere, they look for a good student profile. And when I say a good student profile, it is not just academics, it's all about how you have built on your skills. What kind of extracurriculars have you done? Have you done your debates? Have you done MUNs? Have you done, have you taken part in Olympiads? Have you organized exhibitions, or have you done any internship in a particular company during your summer holidays? How have you used your time? So this is what, and when you have this experience of various things, it makes you a holistic student. So they are not looking for a bookish student, they are looking for a holistic student who can contribute to their university life, because they all want to create leaders. And if you do not have those qualities, then the thing is, you're not going to be really taking the name of the college to the next level. So very, very important is start participating in school programs, whatever it may be, big, small, but it is your dedication that will make all the difference. You'll be able to have, you need a CV. We had a CV. The first time we made a CV was when we were applying for a job, but you have to start making a CV in grade 12 now. And your CV can't just say class 10 result, class 12 result, extracurriculars, nothing, no academic awards, none of those things. So this is what will be your differentiator. So yes, your profile will be whatever your interests are, what your extracurriculars that you like. If you even if you even if you like writing poem and you do not take part, you don't take part in any competition, that's fine. Just start a blog of your own. So there are ways of creating your profile. It doesn't have to be all competition oriented. Colleges want to see your commitment to what you are doing. You need to do some community service, because that is where what reflects you as someone who is who would care for your community, who would care for some social work. So very important aspect is that social work is important. And again, it's not that ki maine exhibition kar liya or maine paisa kama liya, I've earned some money and I'm donating it to somebody. No, you need to show your commitment again to a particular cause that is that you are passionate about. It could be anything. So I had a student of mine who's applying to the US for design, and so she came to me when she was in 11th. She had zero profile, no community service. So what we did is she started working on her profile portfolio. If you're looking at art and design, you need to work on a portfolio. And then what was the community service she had? Nothing. So what she did is she integrated her art and she started making these beautiful cat design pins and dog design pins. She started selling them online. She collected money and she donated it to Friendicos. So you can see the kind of a linkage that we created, that it's design, which she wants to pursue. It is community work. She's taken that effort of doing some, collecting money and donating it to a particular cause. And she's been doing it for the past 2 years. So this is how you need to, there are lot and lots of ways of boosting your profile. I'm just giving you a perspective that you need a profile. And when you go to 11th and 12th, yes, you need to shortlist your subjects, finalize your course, shortlist your college, and finalize colleges. So when the process starts from grade 9, it becomes very easy for you to do this when you reach grade 11. So I think this is what I would like to end with. And when you kind of work with career counselors, or if even if you come onto my platform, these are the kind of services that we would be able to help you with. And I guess that's all from me.
So, ma'am, would you like to invite some questions from the children?
So yes, definitely. Uh, I'll just stop sharing my screen first. And I would like, students to ask me questions that they have, some doubts that you want cleared. Please go ahead and feel free to ask me.
Yes, children. Any questions? Subhranshu? You always have questions in the class. Savi? Yes, Subhranshu, go ahead. I request all of you to switch on your camera. Why it was off? Subhranshu, are you speaking? You can write in the chat box also, children.
Yes, certificates in school competitions, add to your CV. Most definitely, Aditya, because colleges give a lot of credit to what work you have done in school. But also, if you do some additional work, they just realize that you are able to push your limits, and this is what they want to see. So if you whatever work you have done in school is great, but to supplement those, it will be good if you do some additional work outside of the school activities. Welcome, Aditya.
Ma'am, there's Chavi who has a question.
All right. Okay. So are they all putting it in chat?
I suppose, yeah, some of them are.
Ma'am,
All right. Okay, so someone's asking about University of Boston, how much minimum, let's not talk about SAT scores right now. In any case, SATs, you should have at least above 1200 to apply to good universities. But most of the US universities have become test blind now. And when they become, since they've become test blind, what they would need to see is your scores, academics, very important. 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, transcripts of your course. And at the same time, what is your profile? How you write your essays, all those things. So it's not just your SAT score. SAT score is one aspect, which will, perhaps, so there are students from South Korea applying, there are students from Dubai applying. So they'll all have an SAT score. So you will have one score, but again, the acceptance rate in US universities is very low. So to get into a University of Boston, you will need good academics and good profile.
Yes, Subhranshu, you were audible. You may ask.
Which is a good grade to pick a foreign language. Foreign language, if you start as early as grade 6, it's fine. It's actually great. If not, then grade 8, 9 is perfect, because that is the time then you're able to perhaps, if there are not every student is great in learning languages, but if you want to, 8, 9 is a good time to start, because you have 4, 5 years by the time you're ready for college. Okay, wait. All subjects would you, Shubhranshu, I wanted to ask, which all subjects would you recommend for pursuing? So astronomical, so whenever you're looking at engineering, a PCM is a must. Physics, chemistry, and mathematics is a must. And definitely when you're taking science, you have a high level of mathematics. So these are the subjects that you need to do for your astronomical engineering. MUNs and even organize many, then 4, 5. Yes, that is a good aspect where you are, you're ticking the box of leadership, how you have shown your leadership qualities, you've shown your organizational skills. That's very good. Along with it, if you feel that you need to do some, if you're passionate about some social cause, I would say embed that into your routine so that you have something to talk about where community service is concerned as to how many hours you are putting in. So I'll just very briefly talk about the Common App in the US. They list a lot of, you have to list 10 activities. And in order, not in order of preference, but at least every activity has to be thought out. You have to learn from every activity. What they want to see is what is your learning through that particular work that you have done. So MUNs is great. Organizing thing is great. Community work is what you need to embed, and some certification course or some virtual internship programs. Please tell what to opt for being a psychologist. Now, very important, if you want to be a psychologist, now there are couple of things that you need to know. For psychology, you can be you can do a PCB with psychology. You can do a commerce with psychology. You can do humanities with psychology. Psychology with art stream will get you into counseling and applied psychology. Whereas with sciences, you can become a psychiatrist if you do your NEET and you become a doctor, or also you can become a clinical psychologist. So there are various options of psychology. There are various branches of psychology that you can choose to do. But very important is where you are, which stream you have taken, but also please keep psychology as a subject, because things are changing now in the universities, and they will deduct percentage if you do not have psychology and you are opting for that particular subject in college.
Excuse me, ma'am. I wanted
Yes.
to ask that I had written a research paper along with some of my friends in astronomy only. So will
Okay,
that be really
excellent.
helpful for my CV?
Absolutely, definitely. And where is your research paper? Did you send it somewhere for publishing?
No, ma'am. Actually, we haven't published it yet because our mentor said that once our half yearly exams get over, we can expand our database more and write more about this research paper. So we took a 1 month break because our exams were near, and now
Okay,
that they have gotten over, we are restarting with it. From tomorrow we have a meeting for what all progress next we can do, and then we were thinking of sending it to a research journal once we are satisfied with it for publishing.
perfect. Definitely. Definitely it will help. But it is not your individual work, right? It's a group project.
It's a group work, me along with some of my friends of class 10th and 9th.
How many friends?
Ma'am, actually, one friend, I think he might be here, Bhagya Vasu. He was
Okay.
majorly
Ma'am,
there.
actually,
Around
I was
six
also
students were
involved.
there.
I'm also here.
Sehajleen Kaur was there from 9th, and 6 students were there, along with one mentor and one manager. So a total team of 8 people, including the research mentor.
Perfect. Perfect. That's great. Each of you will have a story to tell.
Ma'am, your voice is very low. Could you
Yeah,
speak again?
I'm saying hello.
There are some questions in the chat box still.
Yeah. What qualities, all qualities do you think are required for being a researcher? Now, for being a researcher, it's very difficult to say what qualities are needed. I can tell you what is the typical uh, researcher looks like. He's a very introverted person. He's a very thinking person. He's totally data driven. Doesn't is not a very emotional kind of a person. So when you have that kind of a personality, we call it an ISTJ, which is introverted, sensing, judging, introverted, sensing, thinking, and judging. So that is a typical quality of a researcher. So very much why is a researcher introverted? Because you always need to be with your books. You will be confined into a room, confined into study. So that is a typical uh, personality that you need. Also, your learning style needs to be very read write. You cannot become so that is also there. Plus, it has to be a combination of kinesthetic, because if you're doing your experiments, it has to be a lot of handwork, a lot of experimentation, project related. So very difficult to say. What we need to understand is whether you are the right fit for being a researcher. For
Okay, ma'am.
community service, we have a NPO, and we have served community in a good pace. Okay, can you explain this a little more, Rita?
Ma'am, we also have a difference between medical school and medical college.
That is just a nomenclature. That is just the difference in the name. In the US, they prefer to call it medical school. In India, it's college. Because in US, it's very different. Here you do your NEET and you go in for your MBBS 5 years straight, 5.5 years, and you're a doctor. Whereas in the US, you have to do a pre-med. So for a pre-med, you have to go to a medical school, where you for 4 years you have to do a science subjects, and then you go in for your medicine.
Yeah. It's another
I'm
question.
confused. Yeah. Uh, that where should I do? I want to ask if that I'm confused that where should I do? As I have interest in biology, becoming a doctor, astronomy. But ma'am, for astronomy, standard mathematics is needed for becoming a. No, for astronomy, you need PCM. So that will be higher level. Yeah, so that is the standard mathematics. And for becoming a doctor, you need your PCB. You do not even need mathematics if you want to become a doctor. You can take your physics, chemistry, biology. So, one has to now, these are two totally different spectrums of career. One is astronomy, one is a doctor. The skill sets required are totally different. You have to understand where your strengths lie. So I would suggest, rather than, this is where psychometric tests become important, where you understand your interest, abilities, skills, so that you can finalize as to what you should be doing, rather than thinking I'll take all these subjects and then I will decide. That will be a bit of a problem. So, if you take biology, PCB, if you can't become a doctor, there are plenty of ways to be in the medical fraternity. It really pains us when we see that in South, there were students who couldn't clear the NEET, and they, took terrible steps. But, you understand that is where your plan B comes in. Have a plan A, have a plan B, sometimes even have a plan C. Nahi hua NEET doesn't matter. Get into biotechnology or get into BSc genetics. There are a whole lot of things which are there along in the medical world that you can do. Don't restrict yourself unless and until you're very focused and very sure that this is what you want to do. So for IIT, you need JEE mains, and then you have to pass your advanced. For NIT, JEE mains is okay. Your JEE main score has to be very good. You need to understand what the percentile is. What is considered a good academic score or percentage if you apply to universities in the US? It varies. It varies, but anything above 90% for a CBSE board is what they really look at. Having said that, if you do not have a 90%, if you have an 85% up, and you have a good profile, you have taken your SATs, you have written a fabulous essay, you have written a great personal statement, You've written a fabulous reason why you want to be in that particular university. There is no reason that your score will stop you. But focus on all these things in that case. Career options after taking up humanities. Okay, so Ayushi, very, very difficult to tell you just a few. There are plenty of things. It will all depend on, again, your interest and your abilities. So rather than me telling you what the courses can be, it would be important for you to do your introspection. There are plenty of courses available. If you're good in design, you can do fashion designing. If you're if you want to get into teaching, you can do honors in a particular subject, whether it is history. If you want to get into, if you like politics, you can do political science honors and get into become a political advisor. So options are plenty. Again, don't look at options, look at your strengths, and then decide on the career and the course. Rishi, yes. See, if you have this kind of a confusion, I would say, you can connect with me on InClick, and I'll be able to guide you through the process. Ma'am, can I go into teaching line in biology if I fail in NEET? Let's not talk about failing in NEET. No one fails in NEET. You just don't get a good score. So forget about the word fail. There is nothing like fail. If something doesn't work for you, there is always something else which will work for you. So you can go ahead and do your BSc in biology. You can do your B.Ed and, just get into the teaching line. Not an issue at all. I have a student, interestingly, she's very good in biology. She doesn't want to do medicine, and she's very good in drawing. So we're now I'm encouraging her to create her own biology book where she's doing her drawing and explaining her, concepts, because she ultimately wants to get into teaching. So again, when you are connected with your passion and you're doing something, it's just fabulous. Are there any other career options instead of basic ones? Yes, that's what we said. There are 180 plus clusters. There are things like cryptocurrency, bitcoins, fintech, biotechnology, so many of them. So do not restrict yourself to just becoming a doctor, engineer, or a fashion designer. Explore. That is where exploration comes. Okay, you want to do something unique, but I'm confused a lot. So what should I do? You have interest in science. All right. So again, very generic question. I would say connect, and when one can figure it out for you. Very difficult to say. See, again, it's like going to, as I explained to you, going to a doctor, taking a diagnostic test. So it's similarly, you go to the counselor, we'll take a psychometric testing for you, and we'll be able to clear out the confusion.
Right. And I think we've had most of the questions. We're almost reaching the end of the time. Also, what we like to do is, unless there are like a couple of last questions, then of course, ma'am can fit in, or else
I'm always happy to answer kids.
Or else we'll just run through how InClick will be able to allow you to explore yourself more and your avenues, or be exposed to an environment where you'll be able to understand which is your path or which is the direction that you want to choose. And the idea of such a platform is to add value to your school. It is not how an e-learning platform works. It's not to replace the school setup. This is supposed to be your support journey alongside the school, which is your primary source of learning, your primary source of education, right? If you would have noticed, you are already all students are registered already on Inclick. The username and your passwords are already in your mailboxes, which was created from the backend, facilitated by, of course, Seema ma'am. And so what you have to, of course, just do is log on to the platform and thereafter start exploring the features, what it offers. So I'll just have a quick run through for you so that take not more than 5 minutes. We'll just show you how the platform is going to be beneficial to you. So it is basically a learning community where students, parents, educators from all genres and spaces are connected. So, and it's absolutely registered for free. That's the reason why you all registered already on. So if you were to, like, as registered as a student, just log in as a student. Your password is with you. Obviously, if required, you can change it like you would do it on any other platform. Go ahead and log in. What you get over here is the dashboard. This is where you share your posts or where you see posts from. So there is this Kaleidoscope is a mental wellness partner, right? So they would be posting some content basis. Then you post videos. There are educators who are on the platform. This is an initiative from the Delhi government where they host their type of courses and features. Similarly, you as a user could be posting anything the way you would do it on any other social media. But of course, this is only related to education, learning, and your career growth. So what you can also, use or see or view is courses. Like there are some free courses, there are some, paid courses dependent on the type of educator he has chosen it uh, to to provide it for the users on the platform. There could be live classes which could be scheduled. Uh, this is your library on the header. So wherein you, whatever courses that you have in your library, you may view it at your convenience or learn at your convenience. Similarly, within a group, if you've created a group within your school could be communicating with you. Like this was a group that was created for the Mount Public School, your school basically, for grade 11 and 12. So all of the grade 11, 12 students are in this group along with their faculty. So you could be communicating within the group uh, for any relevant or any kind of information or internal initiatives that you have within your school. You could be conducting live classes from within the platform. Like currently we're doing it on Zoom because we wanted you to be settled in and easily access uh, the session. But you could also be doing the same session within Inclick's framework. So you don't have to go outside. Your links can be internally only communicated within your school framework. If you have a class starting or you have something related to your class, you get notifications, your Friday meeting has started, your live class has started. Clicking on your photo on the left gives you your profile page, basically how you maintain a profile page on any social media channel. That's the place where you could access your profile page and fill out details, your preferences of what you want to pursue. Like also at the same time, you could be searching courses or other users, friends, teachers, educators. Like if you put in robotics as a stream, so it's already showing me some children who are interested in robotics. At the same time it's showing an educator who is probably teaching robotics. So if you want to connect with him on a personal level, you could do that. So it's basically how we help you in your growth, in your journey towards choosing a right career or making a educated choice in adding value to whatever you're learning, right? And if you haven't received any password or username, please you just type in your email address. We can have it looked at the back end, but since it was the first time that it's come to you, so please check your inboxes. It could be in the promotion, it could be in the spam, it could be in any of those inboxes. You must definitely have your own email ID and password. Additionally, if you've not received it, there's nothing to worry. Just go ahead and register on your own. It's a free to register platform. Just go in, register, click on register, and it'll ask you some basic details of your name, email address, your school name. That's it. Whatever the mandatory fields are, you may just fill in the mandatory details, and quickly verify your email thereafter, and you'll be able to register on the platform. So it's again absolutely free for use. And though I've taken your email address, Kesar, someone from the backend will of course make sure that your email address is registered with us, right?
Also, students, I'd like to add that you can connect with Ms. Ishita Banerjee here, or any of you who want a detailed career counseling, or so we have Ishita Banerjee and other renowned teachers and mentors on platform who can guide you in terms of if anyone is interested in learning financial literacy or talking about career counseling or mental well-being. So please explore the platform and search for your area where you have interest, explore, look at their videos of the teachers. It's very informative, and thereafter connect with them.
I'd like to extend my gratitude to Ms. Ishita Banerjee for having such a lovely session and enlightening our students with so much of information and clearing their confusions. Although at this age, they are very, very tense about their future, and we need to have many more such sessions to help them, and more help is needed to parents to guide their children even better, because I feel parents also need counseling and guidance as to watch their children's, as Ishita ma'am said, it all depends on what interest they have. Because in their minds, like typical Indians, we think only of engineering and medical, but there are many more avenues open to them, which they have to explore along with their parents.
Absolutely.
I would like to share my experience. My daughter was very good in science, and being a biology teacher, I forced her to take biology. But coincidentally, within a week, she said, "No, I want psychology." And she went on. I took her to a counselor, and counselor said, "No, no, she cannot take psychology. Just change it to, she's so intelligent. She can clear UPSC exam." She just joined 11. And counselor said, "You have made a blunder. Just give her back the biology. She can become a doctor, this, that." My daughter put her thumb down. "No, I want psychology." And I'm so happy to share with you all. She's a psychologist now in Melbourne, working very happily. And this month she started her job. She did her psychology post-graduation from Monash University, Melbourne, and really got a very good rank. And now she's professional, working as psychologist like you all. And thank you so much. And Ishita ma'am, being Bengali, I'd like to extend my little bit Bengali that I know, Bangla that I know. It was Bishon Bhalo session chilo, and Dhanyabad.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, Parul. Thank you, sir, for lovely session for our students. And we'll connect more for our teachers also.
Yes.
And, thank you and have a nice day. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Mount
Thank
Auburn
you.
School, for giving us this opportunity. And thank you so much, Ishita ma'am.
Most
for
welcome. My
imparting your
pleasure.
knowledge. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank
Have a
you.
Bye.
Thank you, students. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. I'd like to know your name. Sorry.
I'm Ankit. I'm sorry, I should have changed it. I'm Ankit.
Ankit, right. Nice meeting you, Ankit. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.